Hey, welcome. Feel free to touch play with all the crystals. That's why I say when people, I've been saying that all lately. So let me hit the button on here, on the Facebook one. And hello, welcome to Lighten Up, It's Only Light. My name is Vero. I am the owner of Sacred Crystals, and this is my goddess co-host, Christina, intuitive, fashionista. Anything else you want to add to that?
Good morning. No, nothing else to add. Just good day to all.
Yes, good day to all. We have had an amazing weekend.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to sharing some of that with you, as well as getting started. We were going to start with a little clearing, you said?
Totally. I think so.
I totally use it.
Now, do you want to also pull a card, or are you?
Let's do that. Yeah, pull a card. I'm going to grab my drink over.
Yeah. So, So Vero,
yes.
Do you want to switch it around? I'll open up and pull a card, and then you'll close out and pull a card.
Okay,
do something like that.
Let's do it fun.
Switch it up.
I'm all open for all of it.
Okay, so I would like to just maybe kind of address the energies in all spaces, okay? And pray that we all have balanced, peaceful, loving, compassionate, and very forgiving hearts. I love you. Mm-hmm.
Love is all there is.
I love you, and we will get started with this beautiful reading.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's going to come to my mind right now, Vero, is the need to possibly call on some animal energies. So I pulled out this amazing deck by Jamie Sams. And if you're not familiar with Jamie Sams, she's also done A Sacred Path, which is pretty crazy good. And a couple other books. I've got one of her books too. So reach out for Jamie Sams, native person to North America. And this is the medicine cards. This is great. It also complements the Sacred Path cards as well. So you can use them in combination. She does that on purpose with spreads.
You know what's wild is I used to have this deck, and I had the one I had was actually a misprint. It was printed like this,
cute.
But you opened it up and the book was in it upside down.
Oh
so
no!
It was like everything. The book had been flipped. Wow. So I was like, oh, I want that because it's just special, you know.
Yes.
It's funny, you know, the little. There are no mistakes, right? It just makes it special. So, yeah, maybe I'll get it back at some point.
Yeah, hey, so also too, I'm not going to give too much away because this is a very, very interesting, the Sacred Path has these little puzzles in it as well, but if you look into this book, there's numerology that kind of plays in tandem with the animal totems and the pages of the card and really fun stuff. So look into it if you have desire. Mm-hmm. But it also has these little blank cards too, where you can create your own animal totem, you know. So if the unicorn's not in your deck, which, you know, I will honestly tell you it's not in Jamie Sam's deck. She keeps it real and basic to the native animals local to North America. So indigenous animals, mostly it would seem. So if a unicorn is your spirit animal or another sweet, you know, platypus, which I think they're amazing, platypuses. So you can create your own and something even more magical if you want to, you know. So, all right.
Perfect.
Yeah, love it. All right then. Hey.
Shuffling.
I know.
Getting that good energy.
I'm feeling like this one right here. This one right here.
Oh.
Elk. That's a very cool card. Number 3. Do you want to look at that?
Yeah.
Do you have a desire to look at that?
I have a desire to look at it.
I have received this card before, and I think that this card is about endurance and stamina, agility and strength. Elk, I think, is of a more masculine energy, and just kind of courageous, and one that doesn't really have to consider the decision too much. When elk needs to react and respond, elk does it in a way that benefits elk. You know, elk doesn't really have time to get away from mountain lion. Elk just knows to get away from mountain lion. You know, so elk is just elking. Elk does what it does, but it's just elk's nature to be one that can get away in a fashion that tires out the predator. So elk has a little bit more stamina, a little bit more energy to be able to run the distance, sprint the distance.
This reading might be for me. I need that.
Yeah, and it is a more masculine energy, you know. So if there is a need to call on strength, tenacity, and a little bit of because elk is also pretty limber and agile. Elk is, you know, able to leap over and twist around certain, like, you know, forest type things and big boulders and stuff like that. So yeah. And I happen to think that's more of a feminine quality.
Yeah.
So elk has a more balanced nature, you know, but knows when to call in that major masculine energy so that it can respond in a way that's for its best interest. Okay. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. So we'll read about elk. It's number 3 in the deck. Sorry if I shifted that sweet little thing.
Oh no, you're fine.
I love the little poems in this sweet book too. It notes, elk, your antlers reach for the sun. Show me that strength and stamina are one. I think also too, a lot of native people believe that the antlers on, creatures like elk or moose or deer, you know, have, they're reaching for the heavens. So they kind of have this ability to tap into the great spirit above and also connect and bring back to earth. So little heavenly connection there. It notes that the elk, I want to just give you the high bits of this because it's a very detailed card, but it does note that the elk is known for its stamina and has the ability to leap away from its predators with a type of knowing that it can. Like there's not there's not a pause to say, can I do this? Will I be able to do this? It's just elk knows that it can. So it doesn't have that question, okay? So I would say that oftentimes that's more of a masculine trait as well. You know, it's more of a way to honor your instinctive knowingness that maybe sometimes, at least for myself, I might doubt, you know, because I present myself lots of choices where elk's just like, no, we got to do this, you know. So
decisiveness.
Yeah, decisiveness. Thank you for that. Yeah. It's not waiting for anyone else to give it an idea either. It's not going to be too influenced. It's not hanging around to seek others' opinion or their insight, because, like I said, elk just knows this in the situation. Elk knows what to do. Yeah. So the message here for me too is to tap into these strengths, and you can call on these animals' medicines by maybe envisioning or imagining that creature, kind of thinking and pretending that they might be near you, and you can feel their breath. You can touch their antlers. They might have a wet, warm muzzle that you can put your hands against with wiry whiskers. But just think about this creature and their muscular, form and shape. And sometimes you can just, mentally and call on these amazing beings and their qualities to help you in times. If there's particular characteristics that you need, try to envision and kind of dream about these animals and their qualities. Okay?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. It's animal medicine.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the pictures of the elk, and you're talking about the different masculine and feminine energies as well. And I'm wondering, and I don't know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Do elk have antlers, both male and female? Like I think, I don't know if elk. Like I know deer, the females do not have antlers.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the elk, the moose, the reindeer, all those other things with antlers.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of the females have antlers. I was just like.
Yeah, like even bison. Do bison?
Yeah.
But cows do. So maybe there's just like a slight difference in the genetic makeup between these like little animals with the antler business. Because female goats will have antlers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
female
okay.
goats do. Yes.
Okay, so I did not know that. I was wondering about that. So
Yeah.
some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, there's actually a breed called La Mancha that don't have any. They're ears, but no, they don't have antlers either. They're not the big floppy ears. They're little stubby things.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I had one. This is how I know.
Yeah,
But,
I had some pygmy goats, but I had both boys.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. We've had girls, and one
They were
did
annoying.
have. They're cute though. They're bouncy. They kind of have that joyful, gleeful side to them, So this is going to be one of the bigger considerations too for elk as I glance over and I want to really pull and give you some meaningful information that Jamie, and I will also tell you that Jamie did collaborate with someone on this book, and I'll let you know who that is here shortly. It also notes that elk could also be telling you to look at how you are holding up physically up to stresses in your life, and to pace yourself so that you maintain an equilibrium of energy over the distance you plan to cover. It notes that vitamins or high energy foods may be one solution, along with some personal quiet time for replenishment.
I think I need that.
I think this is definitely your card today.
I think I need some personal quiet time for replenishment. That would be awesome.
We all need to honor that part of ourselves. We've said it before.
Yeah.
And if we're saying it again, some things means that we're not listening to ourselves. So we're repeating ourselves to you guys because we're trying to remind ourselves what we need to.
Yes.
And hopefully it's a reminder that you could use as well.
Yes. Hopefully it resonates and that somebody out there is taking this card in and saying, I need that, and thank you for the reminder, that this is something that I could use in my life as well. But we're all one, so we can all use it.
Absolutely. Anyone can apply elk's medicine to their life. If there's a particular situation, this is when you do it. If there's a particular situation that you need this type of quality, stamina, endurance over the long haul, being able to pace yourself and manage the energy so that you're prioritizing and not expending energy before you meet your goal. Okay? So think about the steps ahead too, maybe not too much, because I told you this is a really instinctive person too, or card too in quality. But because there's a knowingness, they're not spending too much energy on pondering where a lot of energy goes, because that might become worry to some. But if you don't know, then you're sitting there considering all your options. That takes up a lot of energy. So knowing instantly, you don't have that, and so you've got to you can spread it on other stuff. Okay.
Following your instincts too.
Yeah, honoring all of that, honoring your time to replenish and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thank you for that, Christina. Thank you for sharing that with all of us, because your insight is unique, and it really resonates. Like I'll tell you, when I first saw that card, I was like, okay, cool. And then you started going into it, and then it's, oh, okay, now this makes sense. I get it. So it helps to, to have an intuitive. Hello.
You got kitty cat.
Hello.
Kitty cat wants a reading too.
Yeah, it helps to have. It helps to step back, especially with a deck you don't know, and have somebody who is actually an intuitive reader to interpret it for you, and that I think kind of takes us to where we were this weekend.
It does. It was so exciting.
So this weekend, Christina and I had the pleasure of going to the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo. Now, and there are other expos like this throughout the year. So be sure to stay tuned to Sacred Crystal's Facebook page, Sacred Crystal's Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, our YouTube. We will be announcing other events that we will be at, but this one in particular was really special because it was a complete holistic metaphysical expo by Body, Mind, Spirit, and there were a ton of readers there.
Lots.
Oh my gosh! And what was so cool was that, I mean, there were readers for soul path, there were readers for past life regressions, there were readers that were specifically wanted to talk to you about life and all things, you know, like
that's bizarre. I hadn't really considered that.
But there had to be 30, 40 readers there.
I would say so. And then to your point, there were like difference in their focus and what they may be more gifted with, you know.
Right.
So
there was palmistry.
Yeah.
There was Indian astrology.
Yeah.
They're
fascinating too.
Yeah, that did look fascinating. So there were all these different things, and what was super cool was that every reader was busy pretty much the entire time. Yeah. The kitty likes the wire. So, hey, psst, leave it alone.
Hey, you. Onyx, let's get trees.
Is that your kitty's name, Onyx?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's.
How did I not know that? I just call her Kitty.
Let me grab her real quick. I don't want her chewing through that cord. She's gonna be like a little mouse.
So I have a kitty cat as well, and mine is addicted to string. So anything that is.
Does she swallow it?
Oh, chews it in half.
Yeah.
And
okay.
yeah, she will swallow it.
Yeah.
So and it's like crack. She can't help herself. She's like, you're wearing a little sweatshirt that has a string on it.
That is
she
so
will literally sneak up to where she's just rubbing on you and grab it and chew through your sweatshirt string. So this is a thing. So I get it.
That is funny.
Oh yeah. So but yeah, the at the fair there were all these different readers and they were all busy the whole time. And I think they were all busy. I was not with all of them, but
yeah.
like I had.
You were super busy.
3 across from me, 1 behind me, one across to the other side, and every one of those 5 were. It was like there was a constant line for them.
Yeah, there was a line. There was like, sign up.
Yeah.
You know, take a number.
Yeah. So they were doing really well, and Christina did readings just like she does in the store. So and she doesn't read very often publicly anymore because that's just not her thing. Yeah, she loves it, but and I'm talking for you, but she loves it. It's just, you know, she just likes giving it, you know.
Yeah,
like to you guys here and stuff. She has more fun doing a reading for you guys here than it where people pay. You know, like line up and pay.
Yeah.
So, but she did do readings for us at the fair just for fun. And how many readings did you do?
Like 14, I think you guys.
Yeah.
Tick marks. You know?
Yeah, we just kept track. She did 14 readings
Yeah.
in a day. That's a lot.
It is. It's a lot. Yeah. Back to back. I got a little break. I was able to get away and check stuff out, but
One time I had to tell our friend Nora, who was working with us, I had to tell her, just don't schedule her anymore because I at some point she's got to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. It was a fun time. I met some amazing people, and that's some of the beauty of being able to hang out and do readings and experience things like that, because you really get it's very intimate, you know.
Yeah.
So even in that environment where there's so much going on, because it was a pretty busy place, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody's into spirituality right now, or have been always. I mean, look, Jamie Sams didn't write this in 2023.
Right.
Jamie Sams wrote this in 1991. So there's,
wow.
yeah. So we're catching up. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, this is spirituality is obviously not a fad. It's not a trend. It's not a fad. It's something that's not going away.
Yeah.
Right. We've been, people say, oh yeah, it started in the 70s with the hippies. No, girlfriend, no.
Way before that.
We're going back to the 1400s, going back to the 100s.
Yeah.
I mean, there was this
like paganism, druidry, that stuff.
Going way back. Oh. And then, I mean, our whole calendar is based on BC and AD, before Christ, and after what's the D for?
Death.
After death.
Mm-hmm.
So before Christ, after death. So like our whole calendar is based on a moment in time in spirituality, right? So I mean, who was Jesus Christ but a sage, a spiritual leader, a
me.
He was at the time the leading edge of spirituality, and those who we are right now were on that train. We were following that path, and as time has gone on, there have been different spiritual leaders who are on the leading edge of spirituality for the time. And now here we are in this wonderful free country that allows us to express however we desire, even though I was having a conversation this morning about how there are some factions of our country that would like to suppress certain things, like Big Pharma, would love to keep any sort of natural healing kind of on the hush hush.
Oh no, only but if they can monetize it.
Well, if they can monetize it, they'll let it happen. But, yeah.
That's why I don't like to charge.
Yeah. Yeah. But there is an exchange. So energy there is an energy exchange. So even if you're giving a reading, usually it's as an exchange for something, either because somebody has, and it could be as simple as just someone giving you the pleasure of their time, or the pleasure of a simple compliment. Like a simple exchange of energy. But money is just energy as well. Money is an exchange.
That's all it is.
So it's a matter of using it in a way that benefits all. That's the key. Not being basically like who just wants to hold all the money together for themselves, hold out all that energy for themselves. No, it's like there's a give and take. And it was so cool to be at this expo with so many different amazing people. Yeah. It was nice to be able to hang out and talk to another crystal vendor and really feel like you're my brother.
Oh,
we're on the same path here, and you're my brother, and you're telling me some stuff that I may not have already known, and you're receiving from me something that that you may have already not have already known, and it's like a gift. It's an energy. It's an exchange, and I love that.
I do too. I think that's fabulous.
And I think that this particular mind, body, spirit, now that we're post or body, mind, spirit, now that we're post COVID, there were a couple years, I think, of people, them trying to do this fair where it just wasn't quite kicking off so much because of all the atmosphere.
Yeah. Sure.
And I feel like now it's finally like everybody's like, we're fully back.
Yay!
We're fully back to doing this and to sharing and to coming into community together, and so many things.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful notion.
Yeah.
I would agree. And I don't know if we shared, but this was a Tampa location.
Yeah.
At the Tampa Fairgrounds is
They
where
do this all over the country, though.
Yeah, okay.
They do this travels all over the country. If you go to BMSE, Body, Mind, Spirit Expo.net, you can see where their other locations are.
Awesome.
And
well,
some people
Vero
travel.
was a speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot
Vero
about
did
that.
a couple speaking engagements while she was there. So talk about that, Vero.
So that was incredible, actually. I've spoken many times in the past, so I'm used to being a speaker, but I usually prepare, and I get a little nervous, and I want to make sure I follow my outline. Make sure I hit all the points. And you know what? I've been lately just living much more in a flow state and trusting the universe. And a flow state is just when you're in your yoga, your path. You're just going with exactly however it's supposed to unfold. It's unfolding, and you're just in alignment and going. And I just decided, you know what? I've got a lot of other things to do to get ready for this expo. I know what I'm going to talk about, so I'm just going to allow it to flow.
That's courage.
And these were hour-long talks too.
A lot of courage.
And so the first one was on manifesting, conjuring the life that you want. Creating the life around you that you want it to be, as you want it to be. And I was like, you know what? I love the law of attraction. I could talk about law of attraction in my sleep. Like, I could be talking and probably do this whole talk completely asleep, like in a half dream state. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for it, and I did, and it actually, I feel like it went really, really well, and it just flowed.
It's recorded too. So if you did want to look at it, you should check it out on Facebook, on Vero's Facebook, Sacred Crystals.
Yeah, I think we're going to get some subtitles for it because the sound wasn't great.
Oh, okay.
But I think that they're figuring out how to subtitle it so that you can actually hear it, because there was a big microphone, and so there was just the noise of the room, because it's just such a big room. Kind of did something to the sound. So, but it was everybody who was there. It was as it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was perfect. And then the next day, I talked about crystals, which also I could talk about in my sleep. So, I just and what was fun about that one was when the talk started. It was supposed to start right at 2, and there were literally only 2 people there. So I was like, well, why don't you guys just pull up the chair and we'll just have a nice little intimate
I love
discussion.
That idea.
And
beautiful.
Yeah, but what happened was the other room had ran over, so those 2 were there, and then another 2 come in, and I'm just like, oh yeah, just pull up a chair. We're just doing a. And before I know it, there's like, I don't know, 10, 15 people there who ran from the other one, and we've got this bigger circle going on. And we were just talking about the talk was titled, "So I bought a pretty rock, so now what?"
Oh, that's fun.
Because that's often what happens. Is people will go and they'll buy the rock at the crystal shop, read the card, and they have to have it, and it's beautiful. Okay, and now they've got it home, and they've got a rock. Now what?
I love that.
So we talked about all the different things. I actually have a course on our website. I think it's 99 cents for a 32-week, 32 crystal plus extra crystals in there as like bonus material course. So people can actually learn a bunch of different ways to use crystals that are not getting.
I'm grimacing because my cat is back at that wire.
Yeah,
Sorry,
guys. I got her.
Sorry, Vero.
No. So you tell about your tea experience and stuff too.
Ooh. So I was there, and I ran into I didn't get to experience all that I would have hoped to. Well, no, I say that. I got to experience everything I was supposed to, but look, there was a lot going on. So if you do get a chance to go to one of these lovely events, I encourage you to do so, because there are some amazing finds. If you're into teas, there was a sweet booth that was set up that made their own teas. They're out of Hawaii, and they just happen to be like in the area or something. Plus, I believe they have relatives in the side of the country. So, oh my gosh, these are amazing. This particular tea is called Harris Cup. But the people that create this beautiful blend is the Holistic Collection.
Yeah, and it's the farm is over here by Winwood Farms LLC.
Oh,
Or
okay. Winwood Farms LLC.
You'll have to show them that because it's spelled different than it sounds.
Yeah, definitely, and I'll spell it for you too if you want me to. But hopefully you can get a good peek of that.
Yeah, we can put it in the comments as well.
Yeah. So what was I reading? The wrong thing.
No, that's the collection.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, but super sweet. I got several different kinds, and then and some of them have just all natural, all organic. Some are caffeinated, some are not. A lot of the herbal bits and little dry tea goodies are also locally sourced. So they use vendors and suppliers for their teas that are local to these folks that create those blends. And then I also got this sweet little kit. I like, y'all, look, I'm a huge incense fanatic,
Yes.
okay? I'm going to share with you one reason why I am. Is that okay, Vero?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Please.
I like
love
to
hearing
explain
secrets.
sometimes why I do what I do. If you haven't already learned about me, I am kind of a ritual type person.
That's
I know.
so good.
This is the super hit. This is the Zodiac. But these are all these good little Nag Champa bits, you know, here by the ooh, I'm not going to say that.
Oh,
right.
it's Satya Sai Baba's company.
There you go. This one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, his Satya Sai Baba is a guru from the 70s who's he's got for his ashram they make the Nag Champa incense and all the different incenses, and that's what supports the ashram.
I didn't know. That's fascinating. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just like to smell it. But I also use it as kind of like a reminder, a ritual for me. So every time I light incense, which is pretty much kind of throughout the day, I light it, and when I light it, I thank things. I thank the fire, I thank the sun, I might thank the wind, the breeze, the waters, the trees, because incense to me is really sacred, and everything, I try to just remind myself how sacred things are, because the incense is made from natural resources that are from this planet, and they're also hand-rolled, handmade, so loving, good intended hands and fingers went into the making and the sourcing of the product. So I just try to honor that, and when I light it, I'm always doing some kind of thankfulness, little ritual type thing.
Yeah.
So,
Like living in gratitude.
It is my way to remind myself to be a grateful person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's so cool. Yeah, I also like there were many booths that I loved
Yeah.
while I was there. One was right across from us. There was this soap vendor. He was walking around with a little
beard stuff too.
Yeah, and he had the beard stuff, and he had a little duck he was holding on his head. He was a little bit follically challenged up here, so he had his little bald head, and the little duck sat up here on his head. It was so
funny.
cute.
I did not.
His name was Alex, and his company is TheraSuds LLC, and so he does all these soaps, wonderful soaps, and he makes stickers too. So you can get in touch with him through LLCs, but he does all sorts of cool printing, and I'm going to be carrying his stickers in my store because they're super awesome. They're just so cute. You know, this one says Free Spirit, and you know, and he had all sorts of cool ones. So I was like, I want those in my store.
They're very sweet. I love it,
Yeah.
especially if it has like a little inspirational
Yeah.
note on it. You know.
Yeah, and all of his soaps are all natural, and they don't have any bad oils in them or anything. You know, like it's all good stuff. So his soap, and they smell amazing. So Yeah, so I was very excited to find that. What else did I find? Um, I don't know if I went to the same Hawaiian table that you did, but apparently there's a couple vendors that come all the way from Hawaii.
Wow.
There was a group of Hawaiian women who are traveling in an RV. They're doing basically world schooling of the little one, and they are traveling and doing these shows, and they had this apple cider vinegar type thing, but flavored.
Yep.
I could have just drank this like a.
It was that good?
Oh, it was so good, so good.
That's
We got some for, and they also made these cool witch hats.
I miss this.
Yeah, they had these cool like felted witch hats.
Nice.
That were awesome.
So
Yeah,
cute.
and then there was this man there who was not part of the expo really. He was just there attending. But on the second day, he brought his didgeridoo.
Oh, okay.
And he was doing healings with one of the other crystal tables. And he's like, so I guess sometimes he goes to the St. Pete Treasure Island Drum Circle as well. So you might get to see him there. That's one of those fun little things. And if you look it up online, you'll find the location and all of that for that. But he had the didgeridoo. And he was doing, and he has it made all with crystals inside of it and stuff.
Wow!
And he's doing, and he's doing these like heart chakra healings that were just like, he just came over to the table and was like, hey, you know, and I had met him the day before, total soul family, gave him a big hug, and he makes these beautiful, massive crystal, healing tools, these crystal like big wands, but they're massive and heavy with like copper.
And plays the didgeridoo too?
And plays the didgeridoo.
Okay.
So yeah, so he's like, he told me he'd been around the sun 71 times. Yeah.
Dang, I miss this.
And he was, so we'll have to go to that drum circle and meet up with
on
us.
Sunday.
And his name was Astari Miraculi.
I'm sorry.
I know,
that just
right?
is not even. That's next level.
Yeah, Astari Miraculi, total healer, total. That comes from where you're from. That's total star language right there. So he was doing the healings and stuff, and that was really incredible. So like just the community that tends to gather at these events is like mind blowing. So definitely we'll be watching out for the next one. And we try to create that sort of vibe wherever we go. I mean, we were at a few fairs this weekend. I got to be at that one, which I feel blessed by. But I think Crystal was also feeling blessed because she got to be at the Ink Mania Tattoo Festival.
That's fun. Yeah, that was going on too.
Yeah, that was it. And apparently that was off the chain. I wish I had been able to like clone myself to be in places because I loved being where I was. And I think Crystal loved being where she was as well because she just had such a great time really getting to share like the metaphysics with this whole group of people that had come for the tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what that show's all about. And, you know,
why not
get
throw
some
crystal
spirituality in
there?
there?
Yeah.
So totally
Goodness.
cool.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun this weekend. There was a lot going on. But yeah. So what else? I think just getting out to events like this, getting out and being in community. I did meet like a couple solitary practitioners, you know, people who feel a little bit like they're on their own island.
Interesting.
Who were there because they're searching for community.
Yeah.
And I think like my advice to people who feel like they don't have a community and they're looking for it is to go ahead and just put it out there, put that intention into the universe that you want to find a community, and it'll show up.
That's awesome. What a wonderful piece of advice.
Yeah, because I think there's more people, like when there's somebody out there who feels alone in their like location, 9 times out of 10, they're not the only one.
Yeah.
And if they start reaching out, start creating something, then the people all come together.
You're right.
You know, it's just a matter of finding ways to get people together. So,
Yeah.
so reach out, they're there.
Well, there's lots of ways to do that too, fortunately, because the spiritual community is growing and getting broader, and you can find
Every day.
Yeah. That's why it was so popular. That's why there were so many people out yesterday, and all the tables were busy that were doing, you know, offering any kind of beautiful incense, teas, readings, crystals. All of it was pretty much busy.
Like there were gongs, there were singing bowls, there were and then there were people offering different technologies like the giant
thing.
copper pyramids.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, there was giant copper things.
Wow.
and the chakra things.
Yeah.
And
It was like an electronic thing.
there was even Falun Gong there. You know, there's a spirituality practice that was practiced in China that's now illegal in China. Like people disappear, and there's every year Shenyang, the ballet comes.
They spoke too, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Falun Gong. They're and it was so cool in the morning because I really appreciate Chinese culture. I spent a couple months in China once, and especially Chinese spiritual culture. So the Falun Gong is a very spiritual way of being, and the Shenyang ballet that comes through is traditional Chinese dance, but they can't perform in China because it's all about connection to spirituality that has been outlawed there. And so in the morning before, like when everybody was setting up, I had walked around to give this woman who's doing another fair her piece of paper back, you know, saying, yeah, I'm interested in the fair. And I walked by their table, and they were all doing like a meditation to start the day. And I was like, I love that. You know, I love that they're just starting their day with intention.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Especially like as a group too.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more personal when it comes to that kind of thing. I retreat a little bit and make it a little bit more solitary. But seeing it like that kind of really opens my eyes to. I have done like little meditations and little things like that as a collective. Maybe I just need to view it in a different way, you know. So
well, and there are different kinds of meditation you can do in a group setting as well. I recently did, and I was by myself, but it was over a Zoom call. So there were lots of people involved. I was alone where I was, but it was a somatic release breath work. And what's wild is that right after I did that, Crystal went to a Vitali workshop. So this guy Vitali travels all over the place, and he's here at least every year, maybe twice a year. And he does the somatic release breath work. And that breathwork meditation is so powerful that when I did it, it took me to my first ayahuasca ceremony.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very connected to the very first ayahuasca ceremony I ever did.
Interesting.
And yeah, I was absolutely flying after it, and just from breath, from breath.
Yeah.
You know, so highly recommend. There's lots of things, events that are around that come and go that we can connect to and be part of. Some cost money, some don't though. You know, like there's all. Never let money be a reason to stop you from doing something, because if it's something you truly meant to do, there's always a way. The money, it'll show up.
That's beautiful advice, you know, because I think a lot of times that's a consideration that we put in front of ourselves, you know, if we get to go to something or not, or enjoy something. And sometimes, you know, maybe we will have spent the money and we're sitting there in suffering or worried about all the money that we spent.
Yeah, which just doesn't
help. Yeah. So that's so unique. It's so interesting. That's good advice. Very solid stuff.
So basically, I think the whole theme of our Lighten Up today is that is that there's so much out there. There are so many avenues, so many places to connect, so many different ways to connect that all you have to do is look and it'll show up for you. So join your community, get out there, be part of it, become an entrepreneur, even go like these ladies from Hawaii, you know, bagging their teas and stuff, you know, like
bagging their teas.
They're making these beautiful teas.
Yes.
And stuff. So, you know, and there's room for you to explore and get out there and find stuff. And if you need help, we're here for you. So you can just contact us on Sacred Crystals and we will direct you to the next thing as best we can.
That's awesome. And look, the experience that Vero has and her team members too. There's a lot of knowledge there. So that's really very solid advice that she's giving to you right now. You can find her and her peoples too. It's very accessible. They're not hiding.
Yeah, we're in malls, man.
Yeah. They're right there for you. So that's a blessing. Yeah, thanks for that, Vero.
Well, and thank you, Christina. Thank you for all that you do to bring the star people to us. You know, to really go down a whole nother road and walk it proudly and show us that they're all different paths.
I'm crying right now because my family's telling me thank you.
Yeah.
It's absolute honor and privilege.
Yeah. Aw.
It's true.
Yeah, sweet. So how about I do that closing reading now?
Do you want to do from the Jamie Sam's deck, or I brought down a Moonalicious because we've got a crescent moon that will be peaking very early today. So I just thought maybe, and there's been some really sweet conjunctions.
This is a really pretty deck. I think I'm gonna try it.
It is super sweet.
All right, let's see what we get. You know, this is fun because I've never even seen this box before, so this will be awesome. It's got a nice guidebook with it. Let's see, who does this one? It's by Carolyn Smith and John Astroff, and Red Wheel is the publisher.
Cute.
So you can get it from Red Wheel Publishing, it looks like. That's fun.
This one, I believe, I got it Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? That's awesome.
Yes.
That we can even get cool decks at Barnes and Noble.
It's the
Looks
thing
familiar.
is what we are driving home is that spirituality is really kind of a little bit more prevalent. It's a little bit more like this type of spirituality. Spirituality is a little bit more accessible to people and a little bit off the chain. They've got pendulum sets. They've got yes, and they've got.
It's fun to see it becoming more mainstream. You know, I like to think that I had a little bit to do with it, even though I probably didn't.
You did. Honor that.
But you know, by being because I remember when first starting to put spiritual stores in malls, some of the mall boards were like, no.
Oh, okay. It was probably too taboo. It questioned Christianity's authority.
Yeah, like there was a time when it was like, no, you're too far
witchy.
out there. Too witchy, too metaphysical, too spiritual. You know, we want to stay middle of the road. And then the same malls later came to us and.
They realized that they actually, you know what, they are like, we can monetize off this. Look at the trend that's happening right now. Let's get that little lady back in here that knows her crystals.
Yeah, and you know, I'm proud to be a first step for a lot of people, you know, like
amazing.
Because it's not scary to go into the store in the mall, you know?
Very accessible.
So I just shuffled these all up and I'm just gonna let whatever come out. I think this is the one. Here we go. Oh, fun. And I have a friend that would love this oracle. She's also her name's also Christine. Christine is like Christina, but this one, Black Moon. We got the Black Moon here, and it says revision. All right. So black moon is the new moon. It's like starting over, you know, it's like everything, it's new beginnings, all these things. But this one saying revision is really, because it's got some other stuff on it. It's got that it's dormant and revision. So, you know, it's, what comes to me reading this is Neville Goddard. Because Neville Goddard has what he calls the, I think it's the law of revision or the act of revision.
I think I've heard what you're talking about.
Like, so say this is, when it comes to creating the world around you as you wish it to be, to having everything you desire, you can actually change the future by changing the past. So what happens is you say you have a day where maybe you complained more than you were grateful. Maybe you focused on the old story more than what you actually want, you know, because the old story holds you in the old story. So as long as you're vibrating in talking about the thing that doesn't serve, you're still vibrating in the thing that doesn't serve. So what Neville Goddard mentioned as revision is basically when you stop to meditate, or even when you're just going to bed at night and you're thinking about the day and you're going, oh shoot, I just went backward because I was focused on all these things that don't serve me. And what am I getting? More things that don't serve me.
Light a stick of incense, people.
Yeah, light a stick of incense and rewrite history. So, because it doesn't exist anymore. It's the past. So since it doesn't exist anymore, we can now revise it. So as you're laying in bed, as you're laying in your meditation, you think about, okay, yeah, that didn't serve. So what would I like to have happened instead? And you start rewriting that history in your mind. And you revise it to be something that does serve you. And you get to a feeling place, and this is very important, this feeling place, because our emotions, our feelings are our guidance as to where we're going and what we're going to get. So the better you feel, the more momentum you have toward what you actually want. So as you're rewriting it, instead of beating yourself up for it, you rewrite it in your mind. And you're like, okay, so instead of doing this, I remember I did this. And you say, oh, and I had this wonderful conversation about, instead of about the thing you were focused on that you didn't want to have I had this wonderful conversation about moving forward and where I want to go, and you just totally rewrite the history in your mind until you've rewritten it to a place where it feels good. You got that almost vibrating teeth feeling, right? Mm-hmm. Where it just feels so good, all of the revisions that you've done. And who cares that you let yourself go somewhere earlier in the day? What matters is how you're feeling right now. And the more you feel good about it, the more you're able to go forward toward what you actually want to create. So now I'm going to read a little bit about what it says, because that's what I get from this card. So and I, you know, it almost like, because it's almost like a kaleidoscope where there's like a mirror image, you know, like you could cut it in half. You could fold this card and it would be the same on both sides. So it's like the past goes through the void and you create the future as you want it. But it's the same thing, you know, you're just rewriting it to be the same thing. So let's see, this one are they numbered? Let's see what they do.
I forget how they are, to tell you the truth.
We'll find out.
It's by, oh no, I take that back. It's by the air sign, fire sign, that kind of thing, water sign.
I've got the 8 right here.
Yeah, I think you gotta go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. So yours is the.
Got
It's a black full moon. Is what it is.
Full moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it's the air sign, so you gotta go to
Air.
air.
Oh, okay. all right.
Yeah, now I'm remembering. They're same numbers, but it's based on the signs. So it'll say the same number on this, or based on the shoot,
I'll find it.
the element.
Okay.
Air might be the.
Might be earlier.
That's
Fire.
yeah. So when we move on to air.
Earth.
Yeah. Oh shoot.
Air. Got it. I found it.
Sorry guys. Me, I didn't remember how it worked.
I found it. It's all good. Here we go. Black moon in air. So here, there's no visible moon in the sky during this phase. Her luminous face is turned away from the earth, and only at the time of an eclipse can you see that she's still there. Traditionally, this is a period when nothing good happens. You don't like that. It's a time to revise your ideas and consider the direction you're taking in life. So kind of like what I was saying, actually. It's like, yeah, that wasn't great. So let's change it. Let's rewrite it. When this card is the current moon selected from the moon tables, the zodiac signs below give a further interpretation. Oh, okay. So yeah, so you can base it on what the moon is in currently to get a little bit of a different read. But yeah, and then I saw something back here about the black moon, which was interesting. The new moon or black moon. It says those born at the new moon and up to 3.5 days after are moon types. If you were born during this phase, you are subjective, impulsive, and emotional in your relationships with others and society in general. You often find it difficult to distinguish between dreams and reality, and people around you can become as you perceive them rather than as they really are. An initiator who influences those around you. What you do today, others will do tomorrow. You like fresh starts, and if that means clearing away a lot of old rubbish, so much the better. So this part of it is really cool because have you ever been to like when they have them usually at most fairs, like Renaissance Fair, I think there's even one where you can get a pendant that's the moon on your birth on the day of your birth. So like mine March 28th, 1972, at whatever time I was born in the morning, it was a full moon.
That's awesome.
So that's you can get your little full moon pendant, but this
would
be
chart, right?
Yeah, this would be a nice way to add to sort of add to that thing. It's not just the moon at the. Here's a little bit about what the moon at that time of your birth means. So that's another cool reason to have this like moon oracle.
I love that. It makes me feel like I was definitely born during a new moon, or black moon for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Very cool.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. That was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for that opportunity. So that's all I got for today. I think we're good. We've gone a little overtime today.
We covered it.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of material. Look, there was a lot at this expo.
Yeah. There
and
was.
do go to these, check them out. Like maybe look up go to the website.
The
they're all over.
bmse.net. And there are others. There's the Awaken Fair by Paula Capicola. She's got an amazing fair that's both up in New York and on the east coast of Florida. So it's all around the tri-state area and the east coast of Florida, the Awaken Fair. There's the Natural Living Expos. There's
Gulfport's got one now, a little Metaphysical Expo in Gulfport, Florida. So in their little front, their little coastal community. So
and sometimes if you can find a UU church, Universal Unitarian.
Okay.
Yeah, the lovingly called the UUs. A UU church, usually it's a Christian church, but it explores all sorts of things metaphysical as well. And that church will usually have psychic fairs, and there was one up in New York where I used to go to a UFO meetup at that one, and talk about meeting medical intuitives, like people who can like say, I believe you could serve to work on your kidneys a little bit, go to bed by 11 p.m. so that your kidneys have time to refresh, like
awesome,
like and like totally not FDA approved, and you could consult your doctor, the type of thing, but but they're just, it's a gift that they have
Yes.
to be able to do medical intuitive work. So yeah, so if you ever get a doctor who's also a medical intuitive,
You hit the jackpot, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So yeah, so find the people around you, create community, and we'll always be here for you to be your community.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Blessings, guys.
Thank
All right.
you.
You want to hit that one?
Yeah.
I'll hit this one.